Welcome to your gentle decompression routine. My name is Coach Julian. In this video, we're going to get into some gentle, easy movements that are really going to help us wind down the nervous system, help the body feel a little bit looser, a little bit more free, and just find some relaxation. This is going to be perfect to do before bed to melt some of the stress of the day away so that we could get a really good rest. This is also going to be great on those days where we still want to get movement in, but we don't feel like we have a ton of energy. We still want to move, but we don't need to set the bar super high. We can still do something really, really good for ourselves. And so, in this decompression session, you're not going to need anything really. We're just going to use a nice soft ground surface. We're going to do a little bit of rolling, so you may want a couple mats or a carpet if you have that available to you, or you can just roll on the ground, which is what I'm going to get into. And so, without further ado, let's just begin laying on our backs in a total relaxed Shavasana position. Now, if you need to have support under your knees, by all means, please put your legs up onto a couch, put your legs up onto a bench, put some pillows under there. Feel free to bend your knees, put your legs in whatever position you're going to be able to relax in really deeply. I'm just going to let myself fall open into the ground to start this session. And I always love starting my intentional movement with just a little bit of palate cleansing, if we want to call it that. We're just taking a few minutes to settle in and notice how our body feels today. Notice ourselves responding to the feeling of the ground, seeing if there are any points within our body that are speaking to us a little bit louder. Maybe we notice a subtle tension in our neck. Maybe there's a more apparent feeling that comes up in our back or our hips or our knees when we lay like this. And this time right now isn't for us to attribute good or bad or to worry about these things. This time for us right now is simply to hear what the body has to say. We drown out the body's messages so often, whether it be media or music or activity, occupying ourselves. There's so much energy, there's so much go, 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 consume, consume, stimulate, stimulate, that the body's messages can get drowned out. Those subtle, those quiet, those important signals that it sends to us every single day, we can go without hearing for a very long time. And the thing about that is those signals our body sends us are exactly what we need to hear to bring our body to a place of ease, of comfort, of strength, of alignment, feeling the way we know we want to and we should feel in our body. So allow yourself to let go. Notice any tension. I'm not organizing myself in any way. Just take a few moments to feel into our breath. Notice all the qualities and traits of the air coming in through our nose, feeling it travel through our airway. Feeling the chest, belly, and ribs rise and fall as we breathe easy here. If you feel any desire to stretch, to fidget, to make any small movements to start melting away at the little tensions that we create and hold on to throughout the day, give yourself the freedom to do that. That's what this practice is. hearing the signals, exploring them, responding to them, and seeing what the body has to say afterward. Let's take another few deep breaths. Let's do them together. So we're going to do a nice, slow, deep inhale through the nose. Feel the air fill up the entire torso. We're going to do a long exhale through the mouth, longer exhale than we inhaled. Let's squeeze all the air out, find the bottom of your lungs. You might feel the abdomen connect a little bit. Another deep inhale through the nose. And a long exhale through the mouth. Again, noticing any tension in the body. I just noticed my feet, my knees, and my hips were holding some tension. Let's do one more big breath together. Great, so we've established this cadence. We've established this tone with our breath and with our energy. Something really easeful, relaxed, and slow, and graceful, if you will. We're gonna do our best to maintain that throughout the rest of our recode here. So the first position I'm gonna come up into is I'm gonna lift my legs up into my chest, give myself a little hug. And depending on our mobility here, we can go into a number of positions. So feel free to follow me, or feel free to keep these movements in a range of accessibility. That's gonna feel really good for wherever your body is at. The first one I'm gonna go into is I'm gonna grab the outer edges of my feet. I'm gonna extend my heels up to the sky. I like to call this a back lying forward fold. You can have a little bit of bend in your knees if you need to, but we're just finding a little bit of length, a little bit of stretch along the back side of the legs. I love doing this on my back, especially when I'm trying to wind down or before I go to bed. Because when we do this standing and our head is draping over our body towards the floor, we can get a rush of blood to the head. And that can sometimes even act as a stimulant. And so to keep ourselves from getting stemmed up, we're just keeping the legs in the sky. The next thing I might go to is a happy baby. I might bring my knees a little bit closer to the ground on either side of me. If it feels good, I can use my arms to push down, pull down on the feet. Sometimes it feels good to push the feet into the hands and get a little bit of this counteractive pressure between both of them. I can open my legs, get a nice little stretch in the adductors and the back of the hamstrings. And let's just do like a minute of just moving in any which way. Feeling free to stay in one position that feels really good. To move around as much as we need to. And just staying with the breath. Let's take another slow inhale through the nose together. Nice, really good. I'm gonna bring my knees and my legs down. I'm gonna keep my knees bent. I'm gonna roll over to my right side. I'm gonna let my right arm come out. I'm gonna let my head rest on the ground. I can keep my knees bent. I can let my legs go straight. Whatever feels good. But what I am gonna do is I'm gonna take this left knee and I'm almost gonna bring it on top or over of that right knee if we have access to it. I'm gonna take my left arm. I'm gonna reach out towards my right hand and maybe even over it. Now we're gonna go into some sundials. I'm gonna take this hand, I'm gonna start moving across the clock, above, up, and over. I'm watching with my eyes. I'm going around, back, finding a nice big twist here. And the arm comes back down and around. I'm just making big circles here. Let's find the breath together. Nice big inhale through the nose. Reach, 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 reach. Twist, twist, twist. Find the amount of effort that feels super good. Keep breathing. Try to keep the face nice and calm. Let's do one more big circle with a big breath, breathing in through the nose. Circle, 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 reach, reach. Look over your shoulder that's reaching. Come back. And now we're simply just gonna roll over to our other side. So we come back to neutral. My knees roll down, my left arm reaches out. Boom. I take my right knee, I pull it towards the ground, on top of or in front of my left knee. Reach my right arm out towards my left hand, maybe even past it a little bit. And I start tracing this big circle, reach, 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 reach. Big breath in through the nose. Reach out behind, keep tracking your hand with your eyes. Just getting some nice spinal twist, some flexion. Opening up the shoulders. All while breathing with such a slowness and such a depth that we can't help but to calm our nervous system down. Nice. One more. Nice big circle, big breath in through the nose. Nice. Okay. Next thing we're gonna do is we're just gonna get into some log rolls. It doesn't have to be too much rhyme or reason. I'm wearing a hat for audio and microphone purposes, but I really suggest to just let your head go limp. And maybe from this sundial position, we just reach up, 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 and across. We reach back with our shoulder. We let the rest of our body follow suit. We get into this nice long log roll position. I'm gonna start reaching over with my left shoulder, over and across till my body starts to move. Now I'm on my stomach. Nice. I might reach back, back, back with my right shoulder. Until my whole body starts twisting. Hopefully I'm still in frame on the camera. And then as we go back the other way, let's do the same thing. Reach over with the right shoulder. Back onto the stomach. Maybe keep a bit of momentum. Reach back with the left shoulder. Just let everything follow. Let's reach over with the right shoulder. We're just using this flatness, firmness of the ground to help us massage our body a little bit. We might find some points on our body that go, ooh, that feels like something. That sure feels like something. And the ground helps us find those things. Super good. Let's come back to our mat. Slowly bring ourselves up. We're gonna get into a tabletop position. Super good. And just for 1 minute, we're gonna start to do some rockers. So my hips are over my knees. My hands are under my shoulders. I'm creating a little bit of pressure down and into the ground with my knees, my shins, the top of my feet. Creating some pressure wide, like I'm trying to rip this yoga mat apart, trying to find my hips, glutes activate. And I'm just gonna rock here. I'm just gonna rock here for about 1 minute. These rockers could be so easy. They could be so small, so simple. We have so many options as well. We don't just have to rock back and forth. We can make a big U shape with our hips, still keeping and finding the pressure in our back chain. We can rock from one side to the other. And if there's any spot in your body that feels like, hey, I need to stop here for a second, I need to find a stretch into that position, or I need to hold this, I need to get a really good breath, then we absolutely need to do that. It's an opportunity to check in with ourselves. Nice. Now that we got the hips online just a little bit, I'm gonna go from this rocker position. I'm gonna tuck my toes at the back. I'm gonna walk my hands in, and I'm gonna find myself in this squat position. Now from the squat position, I'm gonna reach up and back with my hips. Going up into a forward fold, nice. Finding some length here. If you need to have a support for these, no problem. Pause the video, find a support. I'm gonna drive my hips back, 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 and down. Notice everything opens up. Nice, my knees are gonna come back to the inside. Gonna walk my hands forward, back into another rocker. Maybe rock a couple times if that feels good. Then I'm gonna walk my hands back to the inside. Boom, open, everything opens. Then my hips rise up, look, everything closes. Bring your eyes to watch, everything's closed. My hips drop back, 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 everything opens. I'll bring my hands forward, look, everything closes. And we rock forward. So first watch with your eyes and see, and then do it in your own body and see how it feels to go from these open to closed positions. Does it feel like a natural sequence? Does it feel like one moves slowly and smoothly into the other? It's just like a Coach Carly always says, a car wash for your hips. I'm just open to close, open to close. Let's do one more together, and then we're gonna stand up. Stay with the breath. Slow inhale through the nose. Long exhale through the mouth. Hips come up, up, up. Nice. And we bring ourselves standing position. Good time to check in with the body. How do you feel? What feels different? What feels the same? I'm just gonna plant my feet on the ground. We're gonna focus back in on the breath. We're gonna make sure we're breathing deeply and slowly through our nose. Long exhale through our mouth. And we're gonna get into some neck rolls. So notice where your shoulders are at. See, are we hunched up in a defensive position, or can we let our shoulders rest and relax a little bit? Are we hips forward, toes open? Or can we get everything straight and aligned? Have our hips back a little bit, stand up nice and tall from this back chain support. Once we found a really strong supportive standing position, let's just start letting our neck roll to one side. Slowly letting it roll forward. Feeling all the sensation, all the connections. And then let's find our breath. Slow inhale through the nose. Long exhale through the mouth. And as always, this recode is yours if you need to. If you want to stop in any part of this range of motion and say, ooh, this part of my neck needs to be stretched a little bit, feel free to stay there. Stay gentle, stay curious, and most of all, stay breathing. If you want to switch directions with me, you can do so. And there's so many different little subtle sensations as we travel the neck around this range of motion. When we get to this back here, can I keep my teeth touching each other slightly? My jaw closed? Can my tongue stay on the roof of my mouth? You can get all these different stretches on this front side here. Just little stuff. We're just having a little conversation. That's all it is. Let's bring our neck back up to neutral. Feel it out. Staying gentle. And let's start getting into our shoulders a little bit. Let's do some backwards rolls. So we lift the shoulders up towards the ears, send them back. Maybe feel the shoulder blades pinch at the back a little bit, and then drop them down. They come down and forward. They come up towards our ears and back. And again, we're just feeling into, what does this range of motion have to tell me? Is there anything about the state of my shoulders that I wasn't aware of that this movement is letting me know? That's the kind of curiosity that we need to bring into our movement practice. It's not, oh, I do this and I feel something in my shoulder. My shoulder must be broken. My shoulder must be bad. Nah. It's telling us, hey, there's something here that needs to be and can be taken care of. Are you willing to hear me out? Are you willing to help me? That's what the body's saying. Let's switch directions. We pull the shoulders back, then they rise up towards the ears. They move forward. We do a little slouchy hunch. Oh no, bad posture. Boom, it's okay. We bring it back around. Deep inhale through the nose. Long exhale through the mouth. Easy peas. Easy peas. Nice. Now are we ready for this next shoulder movement? We're going to do bicycle shoulders. So we're going to, right shoulder comes up, left shoulder comes down. Right shoulder comes forward, left shoulder moves back. Same thing. Like we're swimming with our shoulders. Try to find this movement from the shoulders or from the lats. Don't be afraid to get the rest of your body into it if that feels good. Shoulder moves. Let's reverse it. Let's go back the other way. Backstroke. You can get your arms involved a little bit if that feels good. And notice I'm creating a little bit of side bend, back and forth. We're getting a lot of directions of movement with the spine. This is so important. This is so important that our spine is able to snake and go back and forth. So much of our movement, of our mobility, of our comfortability depends on the spine's ability to feel free, to feel secure, to feel relaxed. Nice, really good. And for a second, let's just stand really tall, top of our head, pulling nice and tall. Feet are straight, stacked up right beneath our hips, maybe palms open and forward. Nice deep breath in through the nose to get really tall. Long exhale through the mouth to almost pull even taller. Feel the head rise up towards the ceiling, maybe the shoulders pull down very gently. Nice, shake it out. Whatever you got to do to feel good. We're gonna send our hips back, 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 back. Upper body reaches for the ground. We're going back into our forward fold to squat. Boom, everything starts opening up. Little squat, back into the rocker. Let's do that one more time. Back into the gargoyle squat. Your heels do not have to be on the ground. Hips lift back and up. And I'll show you from the side. You got to see it from the side. Watch how my hips move back as opposed to my knees driving forward. Hips move back, 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 back. Everything opens up. Boom, I'm in the squat. Then I come forward. Pow, nice. We're going to come to a seated position. If you need to have a support underneath your butt to make the saddle stretch a little bit easier, I highly support you in doing that. I highly suggest it. Maybe a yoga block, maybe a little cushion. But we're going to sit upright with our legs spread at whatever angle we feel capable of doing so. It's important that when we get into this position, we walk our hips back, have our hips behind us, and then we rise up from that position. Really tall, sturdy structure here. We want to do our best to avoid frumpy and hunchy into the front side. We need to get long and tall. Perfect. So if you'll join me, we've got our saddle stretch here. I'm going to start with my hands in front, right in the middle. We're just trying to find a little bit of stretch along the legs, maybe on the insides of the thighs. We're pulling the toes towards the knees. Hands come forward. Find a stretch that feels really good. And then follow me for 3 deep breaths here. Let's go slowly in through the nose. And long out through the mouth, really relaxed. Do your best to keep the muscles on your face nice and calm, nice and relaxed. It really helps send a signal of safety to the body. Another long exhale. Maybe pulling in a little bit deeper if you've got it. Nice. If it feels good for you, we're going to walk our hands over to the right. You can either put both hands on your feet, you can have hands on either side of your leg, or you can maybe put one hand on the foot and the other hand reaching over. That gives me a really nice stretch along this side. Find whatever feels good. Let's take another 3 deep breaths. On the exhale, I like to sometimes find a little bit of crunch, a little bit of connection on the oblique, on the front side abdominal. Then I like to hold it into my next breath. Getting really long along this left side. Nice. Let's gently walk our hands over and across to the left side. Find whatever feels good here, whatever it is. Even if you need to bring this right leg in. Then we're going to find another 3 great deep breaths here. Let's go in through the nose. Keep pulling your toes towards your knees, finding that length along the back of your legs. Big inhale. Nice, last one. Really good. Let yourself relax. Maybe come back to center. gonna sweep my legs around. We're gonna go onto our stomachs for some tummy time. Nice. So my favorite way to get into tummy time is have my toes tucked into the ground. Have my toes pointing in towards another just a little bit, and my heels pointing out and away. You got some internal rotation at the hips. I got my heels pulling away from me gently. I got my hands on either side of my cheeks on the ground. And I like to feel my lats and my shoulders pulling back and down as the top of my head pulls up and forward. Notice I've got my head elevated off the ground. The back of my neck is getting really long and pulling up towards the ceiling. We're creating a great posture here. I want to find a spot where my airway feels very easeful. And I'm going to take a nice, slow, deep breath through the nose here to feel the back of my ribs expand up towards the ceiling. And a long exhale to empty the lungs. Still pulling my head really long north, pulling my tailbone and my heels long south. Another deep breath. On my exhale, I'm finding a little bit of abdominal connection, almost like I'm doing the tiniest little crunch, feeling them come online. And then I'm going to hold on to that. I'm going to hold on to that effort, that connection. My next inhale, a lot of breath, is going to go back into my ribs up towards the ceiling. Long inhale through the nose. Maybe on this last breath, I feel my forearms roll to the outside on both sides, like my shoulder blades are getting further apart. Big space between the shoulders. Long inhale through the nose. Nice, really good. Let's walk our hands out forward, fingertips into the ground. Rest of the arm is elevated. Fingertips are pulling our upper body forward. Heels are pulling our upper body backward. Let's take another deep breath into this position. Keep the face elevated off the ground. I'm not looking up and forward. I'm keeping my gaze down at the ground, keeping my airway open. Last big breath to pull really long. And on your long exhale, let's move the hands out to a T position. So on either side of us, fingertips into the ground, arms elevated. We're pulling our shoulders east and west, opening a lot of space on our back. Our head is still pulling forward. Our tailbone and our heels are still pulling down and south. Big inhale here into the backs of the shoulders. Long exhale to find a little bit of that abdominal contraction and connection on the front side. Hold on to it into your next inhale. Feel the breath expand up into the back towards the sky. Big turtle shell breath. One more big breath. Nice. We got two more positions. My right hand is gonna walk down towards my right hip. My left hand is gonna come up, 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 forward, and across a little bit. I'm trying to find a nice long line along the outside of my left arm, my left lat, and left ribs. I can even take my left leg and bring it up and over my right ankle to find a nice long line there. Let's take a couple breaths into this side. Really feeling the contraction and connection on the right side, and feeling the expansion and stretch along the left side. I even have my right ear pulling away from my right shoulder a little bit. Nice. We're going to walk it over to the other side. Left foot returns to neutral. Left hand starts tracing down, 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 and around towards the left hip. Right arm reaches forward and across a little bit. You get that really nice stretch. Left ear pulls away from the left shoulder. Right ankle comes up and over the left ankle. Really long stretch from the right foot to the right hand. A few deep breaths here. Remember to keep the face nice and calm. One more breath. And slowly bring ourselves back to center. Let's turn our cheek to the side and rest it on the mat. Put our arms wherever they feel good. And let's just let go a little bit into the ground surface. Feel a little bit of that work that we put in. Notice how the body feels. Do we feel better? Do we feel worse? Do we feel the same? How does our nervous system feel? Do we feel relaxed? Simply with our movement and with our breath, we're able to change a lot about how we feel, about how our body feels. Nice. If it feels good, we can roll over gently onto our backs. And just see what feels different here. See what kind of differences we can notice from the beginning of our recode to now. To have a bit more space. I feel a little bit more relaxed. Maybe some of the messages or signals that my body is sending me feel a little bit more clear. And so feel free to stay here for as long as you need to move into the next part of your day. This has been Coach Julian with your decompression routine. I look forward to seeing you on the next video.